What's going down? How you doing? This is TK coming at you, and today I just want to talk to you about preparation for tomorrow. I always try to position myself and make decisions and focus on what I need to do today to position myself financially in a better place tomorrow. When it comes to participating in cryptocurrency, when it comes to allocating money to gold, silver, and Bitcoin, when it comes to making decisions that are meaningful as opposed to just blowing through life with no aim and direction and thinking about today. I don't really like to go down the path of hopeless failure that everyone else goes down. I mean, people don't think about tomorrow. People care less about anything of any significance. And if you talk about in normal conversation something relevant to financial planning or anything futuristic in terms of your goals, what actions you're taking towards determination and accomplishing those goals, I mean, those are not conversations people want to have. And it puts me on a lonely island by myself. I always say that. I'm on a lonely island by myself called financial management and acquisition, because nonsense is the only thing people want to have a conversation about. Forward planning, forward thinkers, action takers, these are the 1% super rich. And that's why they are separate from everyone else. But when you have the same mentality as somebody who thinks about tomorrow, plans for a future, tries to make better financial decisions, participates in cryptocurrency, accepts gold, accepts silver, you're all alone. Because I can't walk up to the average Joe next to me and have this type of conversation. Maybe that's why I make videos, and maybe that's why only 2 people watch my videos. Because I can't fucking have this conversation with anybody. People are not interested in positioning themselves in the cryptocurrency market, acquiring and saving Bitcoin, positioning themselves ahead of ulterior coins that are gaining value out of the top 10 that's on the valuation list, that all have a market currency cap somewhere around $1 billion. So if that many people have poured that much money into a digital token or a electronic form of currency, then it would make financial sense, right, to participate in it. It's just not conversations people want to have. In 2010, when I got out the military, I got a severance pay. I had about $10,000 that I could invest in something. And, you know, it would have been nice if somebody would have had the conversation with me at that time that said Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin was created in 2009 after the tech well, I don't want to say tech, but the major crash, the financial crash. And, you know, the result is in 2010, Bitcoin wasn't worth very much. So the Norwegian student who put $100 into Bitcoin in 2010 as a cooperation with his research paper ended up being a millionaire in 2013 when he realized that $100 had turned into $900,000. Okay, so if I would have put $10,000 in it when I got out the military, then I would be in a different position financially today. But it's those type decisions that people don't make, aren't interested in talking about, and don't even think about or fathom participation in. You know, every time something new comes out, people negatively talk about it and give excuses why they don't want to participate in it. Whereas I think about how to position myself in something new, get ahead of the curve, and create a better future. So if I put money in something new, then when it becomes commonplace, boom, I'm ahead of everyone else. That's what I'm doing right now with cryptocurrency. You know, I'm buying Bitcoin every payday. I'm mining coins in the background and increasing my mining shares consistently every payday. So between adding money to my mining shares and then also buying Bitcoin and investing that Bitcoin in systems that allow it to flip over 120 days, I'm actually trying to set myself up for a better financial future that involves heavy positioning in these ulterior coins or cryptocurrency, the new way to send value electronically without paper. Now, for some reason, when people think about money, the only thing that comes to mind is paper in your pocket, when money itself has evolved over the centuries, with the latest or the last innovation to money being credit. A piece of plastic where banking or ledger tracking takes place in the background, and everything that you spend is basically debt. And we're going to subtract that debt from a Excel spreadsheet, and then we're going to charge you later for the debt that you spend in credit. But that's the latest form of money, or the latest advent to money. So in 1950, when the Diners card came out, a lot of people was like, yeah, that's bullshit, that's never going to take any place. And today, credit is so integrated into modern society that they force you to use it in order to play their monetary game. Everything is based on your credit worthiness, and your access to loans is based on your ability to pay back debt. So think about Bitcoin. Think about the future and how right now there are a lot of companies putting Bitcoin ATM machines in place so that in the future it's a common thing, the same way regular ATM machines are common. That's one of my lofty goals that I have for myself. I would like to become a ATM or BTM or CTM provider, so that the next time you go to a kiosk, that kiosk is actually owned by me. But paper money is physically tied down to some country in terms of the control authority or the central authority that issued the paper. American government, whatever government that you live under the footprint of, that's the money that you reference, and that's the only form of money you think exists. Oh, that government's money is the only form of money, period. When historically gold and silver has always been a store of value and exchanged internationally for a form of currency. So you can go to a bank. When I was giving gold classes, I used to show people the opportunity to participate in gold by converting paper money to bullion. And the first thing people would say was, you can't go to the grocery store and spend money. And that shows you how the failure mentality of the average person is going to keep them limited to being a debt slave for the rest of their life. It's not that the 1% are special. It's more that the 1% make different decisions. And I think the decisions that they make have absolutely nothing to do with the type of decisions that everyone else makes. So in the class, the excuse was, well, I don't want gold because I can't spend it. And one of my responses was, if you were smarter than the average cat, you would go to a bank and leverage gold to establish a line of credit for cash, then pay back that line of credit, and then go get your gold back. Because when you have assets, you have the ability to position your life for leverage. whenever you need some sort of liquidity, you lean against the assets that you own and allow those assets to give you access to that liquidity. And like I said, keep the asset. Don't sell it. Just leverage against it. So you can spend gold. You just have to do it in a very efficient and smart way that benefits your life financially. Same thing with silver. So if you think about Bitcoin and you think about any of the top 10 cryptocurrencies, you can leverage yourself the same way, because Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is not tied to a physical government. Because it's not issued by the government of the US or the government of whatever country you live in, it's only tied to the internet. So the government of Bitcoin is you. So if there's no central authority behind internet money, and internet money is only tied to you, as we just pre-established, essentially that means you become the bank and you become the central authority. So that power financially makes sense to have. So if you establish a savings account in Bitcoin, then you are establishing a reserve bank in your family name. You are setting up a infinity banking system that's setting up generational wealth, that's providing you with a legacy. So to have so many people argue against doing that, and to have so many people close-minded to the concept of electronic money with no paper, that's not tied to any government, that you can send worldwide, and has a higher purchasing power, and you're not interested, and you're so fucking stupid that you won't even open your mind to think about not only positioning yourself, but getting ahead of the game by using it today, when 9 out of 10 dummies don't even know what the hell a Bitcoin is. So, like I said, it's not that the 1% are special. It's that everyone else is programmed to fail. It's that everyone else is closed-minded, in a comfort zone, and trust me, your ignorance is not going to save you. The fact that you don't know what plate is hot doesn't mean that when you touch a hot plate, you won't get burned. And that's the factual side of the changes that are taking place within the economic world right now. Because companies, as I said earlier, are positioning to get ahead of Bitcoin, whether you participate in it or not. A lot of advancements are taking place within the financial technology sector that will allow Bitcoin and cryptocurrency to be commonplace within 5 to 10 years from now. So just like the Diners Club credit card in 1950, when people said it wasn't going to be shit and they closed their mind to the concept of something new, there are certain corporations that are positioning themselves and getting ahead of the curve so that they can basically control you when this new opportunity, this new form of currency, is more commonly accepted and well known. So my suggestion to you is that you get your head out your ass and that you start saving in Bitcoin, that you start saving in altcoins, that you actually have some gold, that you actually have some silver. But you not doing that, and me not being able to talk to you about doing that, or anyone else out here on the street, doesn't affect the fact that that's what I'm doing for myself.